of scary, Eric, why don't you remind us why we're here?
That's we gotta do the intro. Like
he said, it was really scary.
I'm gonna start from here and say this is a sort of retrospective on, the most recent House Horses.
Can you have it fade in from us just like rabble-rousing a second ago?
For sure.
We're here to talk about the Vermin of the Trash Heap, our latest Hell's Horses mystery. We gotta do the thing, guys. Like 1, 2, 3. Hell's Horses.
Connor,
you suck.
Go fuck yourself, Brett.
Yeah.
No, I hate doing that. I think it's very dumb, and I fucking hate editing it. So,
I edit it usually.
I do the initial chunk for you, and that's always there.
It's always there.
Fucks up timing.
So yeah, welcome to our retrospective on Vermin the Trash Heap. So how did you guys like the whole adventure?
I didn't care for it.
Fuck you for adding in all those extra things that distracted us, you bastard.
That was ludicrous.
I think it was really interesting to see after what was such a streamlined mystery in Wonella, you getting to do a lot of work stretching your legs in this world and making us not forcing us to, but letting us see a lot more going on, going to the Bell Ranch, knowing nothing about what was going on and not knowing if that had anything to do with it. And then using that to give us a little bit more basis moving forward. I think that's really neat.
I mean, yeah, Eric is the king of speculative world building.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good.
Yeah. And let's talk about Patrick Bell for a second.
Well, spoilers.
You guys know his name.
It's coming out after. Episodes.
So let's just start off. If you haven't listened to all of the Vermin of the Trash Heap episodes, don't listen to this episode.
If you listen to all of Hell's Horses.
Yeah, you have to have listened to all of Hell's Horses to understand, to not have spoilers. There's going to be massive spoilers.
All of Hell's Horses up to this point.
The spoilers. Everything spoilers.
If you listen beyond this, don't spoil it for us because we haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
But you guys haven't?
I haven't. I haven't even written it all yet.
It's the 2022 DLC. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
So I was really surprised. So I introduced the wonderful Cynthia Riley. She had to have been my favorite NPC to play ever.
No.
It was joyous.
No.
So you don't know this about us, Eric, but Liam and I have a code word for cunt.
I didn't know if we would bring this up. The first time on Connor's new phone he ever called me a cunt, back when we were teenagers, it autocorrected to full caps Cynthia.
Just screamed at that.
Which became a funny thing. We're we don't have to swear. We can just say Cynthia. God forbid we ever meet one.
I hated that woman.
You should. I'm so excited for her future too. Cause
she'll be the one character we know can never die.
Thunderbird comes down, sweeps her up and pecks her to death in front of us. I want to know she's dead.
Thunderbird! Can I tell you one thing since I want to help you bring it back around to Patrick Bell?
Yeah.
I hate you for letting me sit here watching me with my whiteboard and my markers draw out my reverse guillotine schematics to capture the Thunderbird and then not letting us see the Thunderbird in character. Let alone you guys all shitting on me for the reverse guillotine, which would work.
Okay, the reverse guillotine was fantastic. And I think for this type of game, it was very fitting. And I think you were on a good track there. It's just...
It wasn't the right monster.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm doing something that I've read online where people don't do this.
Don't
where you're
put in you're
throwing two monsters at once. Mm-hmm. And the fact that I'm doing it,
I love it.
In our second mystery, a lot of people are don't fucking do that. And I'm just
it's way more interesting.
You know what? I'm going to do it.
You know what we do? You know what we do at that point? Cage fight. Monster A goes against Monster B. We fight the survivor. Boom.
So I think it's fair that we do that because, one, we're a fairly tight-knit group and we sort of know what's going on. And we're relatively intelligent. I mean, we only licked the barrel a couple times, but we can figure it out.
5 times.
One thing that surprised me was then when all three of you went out there to the Bell Ranch.
It felt so much like this is the thing. Don't get left behind here. And it was almost like a FOMO thing.
Yeah.
Because fucking Cynthia, that stupid...
Well, the fact that she talked to all of you, I can see in retrospect.
The joy of spreading her around town changed the narrative.
Yeah, it did. And she was such a big character that it was like have a flashing neon light. So I think I fucked up there a little bit because I really expected you because in Wonella in the Nightmare of Litlow Ranch, Hayes and Birch did such a good job of splitting up and tackling problems together that's what I expected. I expected like one or two of you go to the Bell Ranch and another person to stay and protect Tombstone.
I felt like I tried to separate us. I don't remember. Might be speaking out my butt, but I thought I was trying to tell someone to stay.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing
so.
is if you did, it was that she was there and she was insistent, which again I thought was interesting. But it almost felt like when it was just me and Taylor, not like this isn't like about to be like a dig on Connor or anything. When it's just me and Taylor, it's like
fuck you, Connor.
If we split up, it was like, okay, we're both at the same odds. Something could happen to either of us. But if you split up 2 and 1, you never feel like being the odd man out is going to bite you in the ass. And that came to fruition in the second last episode and the finale. Like,
it came to fruition every time that happened. Like, think about like in the first episode.
I lost a finger
immediately.
I went off alone.
Was that the first episode?
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was the second.
Well,
the first episode was
the
the heist.
The first episode was capturing the bank robbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And meeting.
What were their names again? I'm going to pull up their names.
Tommy Gun.
No,
something.
Tommy something.
Hold on. Franklin. Nope, that's our guy.
Franklin's the mayor.
Franklin's the mayor. It is James Fitzgerald and Paul Trigger Thompson.
Yeah, Paul Thompson's the one in the jail, right?
Nope.
No, Fitzy's in jail.
Fitzy
was the safecracker, right?
Right.
Yep.
And Trigger was the gunman, and he
also like
met an untimely end.
We had this little like real world thing happen again to give more premise to the world, give us a chance to like almost like field test Reggie, and then get into the mystery
test too. I fucked that day up real good.
Well, it was a great introduction to
bank robbers ready for a sniper, military trained, especially not in the Old West.
I love Reggie so much. By far my favorite character. I really love Bert, but I fucking love Reggie.
I want to say, I don't know if we want to do this round table, but like favorite thing from both of you, seeing Connor, who is usually not very fun,
bland. I'm bland.
Play the most fun character, coming out and just having like this big ridiculousness, but like MVP moment, not like for a cool thing you did that helped us, but for like a what the fuck is this character? The like, that's my name. Shoot him in the foot.
Straight in the foot.
And it's like when we're around, he was this completely different character. And then watching Connor like put this depth into him where he's like this petty, weird, paranoid motherfucker who also will shoot a man for no reason.
No, he had a valid reason.
That's the thing. It's like, but it's like the way his brain works when he doesn't have someone to bounce ideas off of. I got such a clear idea of Reginald Smythe III.
I'm pretty sure he did that in the middle of a crowd, so I think he would have done it if we were standing beside him. But like, if you were standing beside him, he would have been like, "Do you think it's shifter?" And then shot him. Like, there would have been another step, and it was just such a more visceral response than his usual stuff because he's usually like, "I'm the man now." Like, it was always like a little bit of run around first.
I wonder if it would have been if Connor would have had a different reaction if we didn't have that as the cliffhanger.
To have a week to stew on it?
The fact that he had a week to stew of being like, yeah, I'm going to shoot him. You know, like that Connor of like, yeah, we're going to do it.
I think that's like the beauty of a role-playing game, though. You get those breaks to like
I think it was
really
his first
yourself in it.
Real solo action, though, as Reggie.
But it was also my first instinct. It was shoot the motherfucker. And I changed it to foot after 2 weeks to make sure he lived.
I did have a plan of what would have happened. A lot of things would have like kicked into action with you murdering a guy in a crowd. I had thought of what was going to happen. You shooting him in the foot was just like, okay, what's going to happen now that this guy's alive? Because I expected him to die.
Yeah.
It was close.
I want to say that all of the, like, from the moment Yevgeny was introduced, Hayes pulled out, like, the best, like, let's just get this done, sheriff. Like, make a magic lantern, give it to someone else, and fuck himself so hard, giving us the perfect lead. Like, you gave Eric so much to work with there. Because, like, I've always been very excited about Hayes as a character. You've done such an awesome job with him. But, like,
I like Hayes.
Doing, narratively
I like Birch too.
crazy
Birch
stuff.
is great.
I love getting to be just like wild in this one. Like I nailed him down as such like a
frustrates me so
regimented character. And just as soon as there's more than one influence, he's so wishy-washy. And so he's unhinged now. Mm-hmm. You're setting him off into Mystery 3. Like he's the haze that's going to tell him to not murder somebody. He might not listen to that anymore. And so I have a lot of fun with him.
Frustrates the dickens out of me.
Yeah, no, I really enjoy Hell's Horses, especially since I don't have to plan it. Like it's a lot of fun to play.
I barely have to plan it as well, which is the beautiful part about Monster of the Week.
Mm-hmm. And it's so much more role playing than I ever thought I would do.
Yeah.
Like I'm a very reserved, quiet person that doesn't do that sort of thing. Yeah.
College Eric wouldn't have liked Monster of the Week.
Yeah, college Connor wouldn't have played.
Yeah, I didn't really like doing character voices when we first started playing Pathfinder. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's basically like now that I've really started to like appreciate good role playing and that side of it. Like I don't care about the combat so much anymore.
I've just been stunted in terms of role playing. I played with my group of friends,
crazy people. Yeah,
where
murder
you get like
elbows.
you get ridiculed for trying to play the game,
and you know who you are, and we're speaking directly to you.
Yeah,
stop.
Monster of the Week has done such like I feel like Taylor was always good as Marcus. I don't think that there's like anything I would change about early Marcus, but I feel like you came into this last chunk of this book with the energy you've built up from Hell's Horses, just like really diving in.
I think if we're going to talk about Marcus, I think Marcus is becoming less
two-dimensional rogue,
edgy, less edgy. I'm going to say like he's maturing in a weird.
Yeah. Well,
weird
not to
way.
talk too much about Kingmaker, but getting a year of like hand wave time to say like some stuff has changed has, I think, given you a good opportunity to like do a bit of a heel turn.
Tone him down a little bit.
Yeah.
Keep out the edgelord.
Yeah.
You played exactly the character I thought you would play when we started Kingmaker, and I'm glad to see him growing a bit. So
yeah.
Well, he has to after a year.
Yeah. He doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to, but I would like him to, and I'm excited to explore his backstory more, which we haven't really touched on.
I am more excited about that than anything to do with any of my characters, which is rare for me. When I get to play, I usually want to like do a lot. You know me, I like to be a little in the forefront. I don't give a shit about any side quests I have planned to like try and get Cara to work in. I want to be there when Marcus does things, and I didn't care before. And like these past couple sessions, you've been fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
but like he's just like looking back on this, what I've made his backstory now. He's just it's all.
It's all very vague.
It's generic rogue bullshit.
Yeah, but it's
you're like, I know what a rogue is. I've read books.
And I kind of love the idea of not writing the backstory or like throwing out your backstory once you know what the character is. I love that, and I think that's something we've seen us all do in Hell's Horses too. Like Connor was going to come in as generic British man who had a military history with Hayes, and he ended up being so much more than that.
But he didn't know he's going to have a British or a military history with Hayes until I made it up.
Yeah. And you guys, again,
I was coming in as Matt Berry.
Yeah.
My only plan was I'm going to be Matt Berry, fucking pure chaos as always. And it's hard to differentiate him and John Hand right now as well. I know John Hand is supposed to be a little meeker and a little more...
Also, I picture way younger. I picture John Hand being like a dude like maybe 25, maybe 30, like exactly. a little haggard for a bandit.
Yeah. So
John Hand doesn't have the same quips that Reginald does. Mm-hmm. Like you're so quick with Reginald, and he's so funny, and it's a joy to edit. Having no sheet, it really is.
The thing I think I love the most going like I love Pathfinder, I love Dungeons and Dragons, but the thing I love the most, and that Connor saying that feeds into so much role play with Most of the Week, is that every roll is a reaction. It's never like I want to roll diplomacy and then you go, okay, do this. It's like I've said a thing, I've acted it out, and then you go, okay, I'll let you roll on that because it needs to be earned. But it's like you don't ever go like, oh, my character's not great with diplomacy. I'm probably not going to go ask the villagers this thing. It's like we all have to do it because there's only 3 of us, and it's like it's a lot more real, and it gets those conversations out of us where in Pathfinder we might hand wave.
Really feels more like acting, which I'd never thought I would do as a human being. That is not who I am and not what I've ever wanted to do. In fact, I hated drama class. Worst thing in the world. Now I wish I'd done some more of it so I'd be a little bit better at this. But it's acting, and I really do feel myself falling into that character. So when you're like, oh, Reggie's quick-witted, I'm like, I think that's just me, which is interesting, and I like to find out. But
it's like I've discovered something of myself.
All of you are way quicker than me at a lot of things. It makes it hard. I know back even when we were playing back in college, you were quicker than me in some stuff too, and like I flubbed things and I wrecked story points because you were too quick for me.
I can remember a couple of those, but they felt really fun because you weren't necessarily worried about like, oh, what is this going to look like in a year later in this campaign? You were very good as a GM going like, what does this look like for having fun tonight? And I think you made it like a really good experience for us then.
I'm glad you guys feel that way, because that's what all this comes down to is like, let's have a lot of fun. Like, if we're not having fun, why are we doing this?
That's the whole thing with Hell's Horse is like, it's by the seat of your pants and what's going to be fun. Like, I know you have some probably like generic plan for certain things that are going to happen or have to happen, but like the whole episode after that is just like, what are you guys going to screw up this time?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was, I was really scared to run Monster of the Week because I'm used to Pathfinder and D&D being so over prepped that it's been really hard to like let the reins go. But like, I think, I've learned a lot of lessons in the Nightmare of Little Ranch and like I do like very little prep now, and we just fly by the seat of our pants and things just go, and it's.
You can come to Connor's School of GMery, where we do no prep whatever at time.
Yeah, so it's been a great evolution.
Seeing the way Eric runs Monster of the Week, I'm like, this game is so much fun because that's all it expects from you, to know a little bit about what's going on. And to just go. And I think that's so much more fun as the person running it, because you don't have like, I don't come in going like, I expect Eric to throw me down.
Yeah, you don't get bogged down.
Taylor's looking his hand, which we have ignored.
Sorry, I held my hand up long enough that I realized
your finger's weird. I was
bent.
Looking at that too. It's bent.
Look at this.
Whoa.
But it's not that way.
That's common.
Like bent upwards.
It's bent in. Yeah.
It's bent in, but like,
it's a lot, but it's common.
Look at this motherfucker. No, his is straight as shit.
My pinky.
Your pinky's bent.
Huh. This is all getting cut, you fuckers.
No, leave it in. But anyway, my point was going to be, we just went off on a huge fucking tangent for like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, we're not good at the organizational thing.
I was making a point about Kingmaker, or about.
So I wanted to get back to Reggie for a second, because there's some stuff about Reggie that like we should know. Like, Hayes and Bert shouldn't know this, but like I think for us, so we never talked about the agency that you work for. Yeah, and that's a huge part of it.
Yeah, I realized we were supposed to, and I just sort of vaguely nod to them once in a while.
I think it should be like that. I think, especially since he's developed machinations.
Mechanically, it's not supposed to be.
So there's some mechanical things to the agency. So. When he's doing his character creation, he's supposed to pick 2 resource tags for the agency and 2 red tape tags. That helps me decide like how that agency works. So have you looked at that at all, Connor?
He's
he walks away.
You son of a gun.
I'm grabbing my book. Because I'm trying to remember if I actually did that when I set it up, or if I was like, I'll just do that with Eric later and never did it. Because I can see it
going either way.
Yeah.
Because I know what this means. It means that Eric wants to start Mystery 3 with like a cutaway to the agency.
That's the thing. Without knowing more about them, I don't know how to integrate them. And like, they're supposed to be integrated theoretically. I think especially when it comes to luck points. I'm going to look at that actually as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't have anything in my notes.
Okay.
In my head, I've seen them sort of as the Umbrella Academy type agency. I don't know if you've watched that.
I haven't.
But they're like they keep the time, so it's very much like Loki as well, the TVA.
Okay,
they keep the time streams. It's fine. There's spoilers. We started with spoilers.
I haven't seen it.
It's fine. Loki, TVA. That's all you need to know. They're time cops. So like I sort of see it as a sort of time copy thing, but without the time part.
Let's talk about your 2 resources then.
Okay.
So there's a big list, so bear with me. So you can be well armed, well-financed, rigorous training, official pull. So I feel like that means like you can pull governments, cover identities.
You don't understand. I am the mayor. Check your office. There's a new nameplate.
His name's up there.
It's Reginald Smythe the first, because now there's the second.
Offices all over the place. Good intel. Recognized authority. So that means like everyone in town would know the organization's name. So if you were trying to base it off like the Pinkertons, maybe that's what you would go with. Weird tech gadgets or support teams. So you could call in like a team of riders.
Give me the first few again. So I'm thinking well
armed or well financed. Those are two separate.
Well armed for sure.
Well armed.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Has a fucking sniper
and
rifle.
I think rigorous training.
Yeah.
Because I think this, like, they've pulled ex-military people on purpose, and right, they're the go clean shit up people.
They're not like a group. They don't have like a headquarters you go to. They send you a thing and you go and you do it because they know that you can handle it.
Oh, what is it? Oh, people that did what's the giant red guy with the rock fist? Hellboy. You're that organization. That's who you are.
Yeah, I sort of felt the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
That's not what that is.
Are they not the same universe?
No.
No, Mignola didn't write the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
No, I thought they were.
Yeah.
That was Alan Moore who wrote that.
Now I need to figure out what that organization was called.
It's the Fist. I should know this. I fucking love Hellboy.
Okay, so the next step is called red tape. So you have to pick two of these.
Okay.
So, does your agency have dubious motives? Are they bureaucratic, secretive hierarchy, cryptic missions, hostile superiors, interdepartmental rivalry, budget cuts, take no prisoners policy, or a live capture policy?
There's a lot of good ones there.
Take no prisoners. The man shot a guy in the foot.
That wasn't a monster though, right? So sorry, do them again. I've got Liam making fucking faces. Let me not look at him.
I like the
interdepartmental one. I think that one's good.
So
and I also sort of like a secretive hierarchy as well.
Yeah.
So you never really know who's a different department, and you're just sort of constant. No, I don't think those go well together. Actually, hang on.
I like it. I like it that those together work really well because that's very Delta Green. You've got like you get your orders from somebody, and then you hear from somebody else that someone else in the organization is running counter to you, and you go, "What the hell?" And it's like, "I have my orders. I get the thing," and you're like, "No, I destroy the thing," and it becomes like. Are there people in the hierarchy working against each other?
No, I don't think so. I like the interdepartmental one. That seems like good sporting fun for an old boy like Reggie.
We've got the hunters and the researchers.
Yeah. And
bring me back its brain. It's like if I don't blow its whole head apart.
Yeah.
One of the first ones, I forget what.
Dubious motives, bureaucratic.
I don't think it would be bureaucratic.
Cryptic missions. Hostile superiors.
I do like cryptic missions.
Yeah,
imagine if it was just like go to Tombstone and you show up and you're like, hey.
Well,
clearly
something actually works with the rivalry thing simply because they're like, okay, we're going to send you to Tombstone. And like a week later, like, hey, we're sending you to Tombstone. Give them slightly different wordings of things.
I think cryptic missions along with the interdepartmental rivalries. I think that's pretty good.
Because you've got
you're already on a cryptic mission. You've already told us that.
Yeah.
And one of his cohorts could show up.
I'm to be the mayor. That was the mission.
That's the mission. The mayor of the safest town from monsters.
Does it have a name? Does the agency have a name?
I don't know. No, of course Liam has a thought.
I have a thought, and tell me if you like it. It's just The Reach.
Nope.
No? Okay.
The Reach Around, you mean?
That's too Halo for me. We'll just call it the taint massage. Fucking whatever. I don't know. I think
the organization.
I'm going to give it a random acronym and we'll backronym from there.
I like love that. Backronym.
Yeah. So let's just get 3 random characters, please, Google.
I love this.
Also, I found what the organization is called Hellboy. It's the Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense.
That's good.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like too much of a thing, so it's like it could very well be a government thing.
Yeah.
ERWD. Eric, you can write that down and we'll figure it out later.
Are they government associated? Okay, so they're just like a private organization. Am I wrong if I equate them to the Pinkertons?
I don't know the Pinkertons.
You don't know the Pinkertons. So the Pinkertons is like
They were a private military, essentially. They were originally like...
They still are.
Yeah.
They still exist.
They're the reason, or they're one of the driving forces behind like a lot of the really like brutal... am I right in saying the Trail of Tears?
Okay.
Is that the one I'm thinking of?
So maybe they did a lot. Yeah, Trail of Tears was before.
Not Trail of...
so they were...
Wounded Knee.
Like, maybe they're part of that. So they were security guards. They were private investigators. They did a lot of union busting in the 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
So they got really bad flack because like they murdered people and beat people up pretty badly. But they were like bounty, like I said, bounty hunters, stuff like that. They were investigators.
I mean, that's sort of reasonable. I see it sort of as an FBI without any checks, right? It's just Men in Black.
That actually lines up. Yeah,
that's sort of where I see it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't want it to be too fucking evil. Like I'm supposed to be one of the good guys.
Yeah, no, I mean they have their goal is to keep the world safe, really, from what goes bump the night. Just kind of like what Hayes and Alexander are doing. But that's the thing, like they might have more of that.
Am I older than you? I know in real life I am, but is Hayes older than?
I don't think so. I think we're around the same age.
I picture Reggie looks younger, but is older because he's like more well kept. Like he might even have like, in my brain, Reggie's like 60 and Hayes is 55 or something. But like Hayes could be on like a bad morning, like a 70-year-old man.
Wow. I did describe him as having an uncular face. Yeah. So I'm weather worn.
Again, I picture Reggie as the gentleman from Pokemon Red. He's got the suit and the hat and the cane, but it's a sniper rifle or a sword. And then the Hayes is just Bobby. He's just old. And Jim Beaver's 70 years old.
God damn it, Bobby.
Wrong, Bobby.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is?
Do I? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
So I got a question. Which of my cold openings pulled at your heartstrings the most?
Pulled at my heartstrings?
Or
I love how they just get more and more budget friendly.
I was going to say my favorite bit throughout the entire series is you've been slowly blowing the budget and paying for it later. Like we only have a drone this time, and it's like this guy's climbed up on a crane.
It's so funny.
It's so purely like in the realm
just
of
for Eric.
Yeah,
it's 100% just for Eric.
But like that, the thing is, constantly in my mind, I am always relating this to
TV show. That's what this game is.
That's what this game is. It's a love letter to those types of TV shows. So like that's what I'm constantly thinking of, like when we switch scenes and try to do certain beats and everything. And that's why we do cold opens, or there are a few times where I've done like the cutaway to bad things, like when you guys saw Darlene get attacked, or when I had that guy get that glass shoved in his eye. Like, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think we're really trying to lean into those TV tropes. So it's fun to talk about it in regards to how we're filming certain scenes. It's fun to me. It's just a good time.
And I really want to do something like that with Kingmaker. I really want to be able to give you guys plot and stuff, but it's so hard to do when it's not something we've already been doing.
I gave you such a cool thread, and then you're like, a year went by, and I was like, oh, I thought this character was, that's a whole other thing. I gave you a plot thread.
Yeah, I love the TV setting.
It helps people picture it. There are times someone will just like, if they're describing it in the act of like everyone role playing, I take that info in, but like, I know we all, or at least most of us, has listened to it, but like my first real foray into role-playing podcast was Griffin McElroy setting a scene and giving me goosebumps while he talks about like a small town in West Virginia, and it's like it's nothing, but like I can picture it because he's setting it up in phrases I know. Like we pan over to Troy LaValle with Glass Cannon, does that amazingly. He reads you the script with all of the like stage direction, and it's like I picture it. It's like
I mean, he's got a great acting background too, though, right? So like and one of them is a literal script writer. So
he doesn't let Matthew write anything. He mentioned he wrote a thing for one of the live things. He's like, this is the first thing I've let him actually do.
Okay, I gotta ask, what drove Wyatt to this? How did he become this undead? Yeah, shut up, Birch. Controlling Beastmaster guy. Like what?
Okay, so yeah, I'll actually gladly answer this. I don't think this should be cryptic. He had a large piece of the mirror in his hand.
So he just from picking up garbage, he's got it stuck in his hand.
I won't tell you. I won't tell you how he got it in there.
That's got to be it.
So what you do know is that the mirror was dug up from where the Witwicky brothers properly buried it according to their instructions. It was pulled from the ground. Bunch of pieces ended up in Wyatt's possession, one in his left hand. You guys saw the bandages and everything. And then what turned him into a monster was when he died, when Birch shot him in the back in the tunnel. He wasn't fully a monster at that when you guys were talking to him. He had powers, but he wasn't fully a monster. He became the monster with the terrible voice.
That's why I pulled at my collar, Taylor, because I was like, I'm pretty sure I killed him.
You killed him, and I was like, oh yes, let's do this. I'm
curious, and this might be asking too much, but I know that we can't account for the whole mirror. Can we assume that while we're dealing with other stuff, there will be the occasional threat of shadow monsters to let us know that like someone else did this to Wyatt or used Wyatt as some sort of tool, or is that thread kind of done?
I don't think he can answer that because he could.
Yeah, that's too much of a giveaway.
Because I love the idea that we're like, we dealt with that, and then suddenly it's like we're dealing with Thunderbird or like Ghost Train, and there's like a shadow thing that bites somebody, and we find a piece of the mirror. It's like, that's almost like the calling card of someone taunting us because they've machinated all this stuff.
I mean, I will tell you, there is some sort of thread that's connecting everything. You discovered that, like that clicked in your mind when you use that luck point, right? Where like, the map of the railroad that goes through the Dale, these points are close to where that railroad's going to be lining up. So there's something weird about something lining up with the railroad. You're not quite there. You don't know how the entire picture.
It kills me. It's going to be a big bad. I thought we were just going to be, monster this week, monster that week, but you're leading up to a big bad. I don't want to do a big bad.
Yeah, you have to have an overall arc. But
it's monster of the week, not monster of the fucking year. No,
but that's how that's how the
season.
Yeah, you need your Rita from Power Rangers.
Rita exactly.
Repulsa.
Goddamn Rita.
Yeah.
Gold.
Is it actually Rita? Did I get that right?
Rita Repulsa.
Oh my God, what a dumb name.
I'm proud of you.
So, I mean, I didn't even decide on exactly what the bad guy is. I'll be frank with that.
Fucking Reggie.
Oh my God.
Like, that's the thing that there's so much that we still have to delve into in your guys' pasts. And
it's Gertie.
We see that written on the last like tombstone of the like that makes the pentagram that summons the devil. It says Reginald Smythe III, and Connor turns to Taylor with his gun drawn and says, "That was my name," and shoots him once.
Oh, so let's go back to something that we've kind of forgotten about. We've talked about, but we never really settled it. What was your letter to Ehote? Was it just asking, like, what was it?
I legitimately, the more we played, a lot of my questions got answered. And so I feel like it would be a lot of mundane stuff. Like, could you undo the ritual of burying it by unburying it? Could you, is there any purpose to, beyond, because like if you don't bury it, you have the bad luck. But if you bury it and you pull it back up, like, has that put another magic on it? Is the idea of like undeath some sort of like perverted good luck kind of thing? And so like I think it would just be like vague questions, like his half scrawled thoughts super quick of just like, what do you know about shadows? What do you know about this specific mirror ritual? Because like I brought it to the boys. I don't know if Ehote knows anything about it, but I think he would know more about like the vagaries.
Did we ever roll on that, friends? I
think so. Yeah, I believe successful, but it will take some time. And so we were like, it'll be a letter.
Oh, okay. So you got a 7 to 9. Okay, so I feel like Ehote would have. I was trying to think of a scene for him, like showing up at like a telegraph office.
I kind of love him never showing up until like one day he rides in and saves us, or someone plays Ehote. Like if we die.
So in my mind, he would have shown up at like a random telegraph office somewhere in some like whatever, and it's like, oh, there's would be a guy hand like he'd be dropping some furs off or something, or he was doing something, and he'd pick up this telegraph and then he'd right back to you. So he probably would have told you that like a magical, like once an item becomes magical, it's if it even like in this case, if it would lose the magic, it becomes like a receptacle at that point where it can be filled with magic
other
again.
Magic. Okay.
Other magic. I feel like that's.
So it's become like a focus.
Yeah.
And so I think that the knowledge I'd be happy to get from him then is that like, it's not some weird ritual of undoing someone else's ritual. It's taking an empty, like I've drank the water out of this. I can put more water into it.
Yeah.
It's an empty vessel.
Or I can put juice or coffee.
It's just a receptacle.
Or hot sauce. You know what I mean? Like they can put their own intentions or us saying this, you guys will have to start being careful if you start making magical items like that lantern.
Oh.
Like that one's been destroyed. But you're introducing magic into these things, like they'll be like a little pocket dimension created, right?
Wait, so does that mean his arm is magical?
I was going to say my arm,
the best hand jobs?
and also did we ever say what happened to my finger? Is it just gone, or did does Reggie have it?
No, gone. That got bit by the rat, man. Burn it.
But you cut it off. Like, did we pick it up?
You guys burnt it.
We left it.
That's
there.
up to you guys.
Did we burn it?
You don't get it
I
back.
thought you guys burned it.
I'm just going to say, if it's not in the episode that we did anything with it, Eric, do what you will with my finger.
Ooh.
Cut that out.
Ooh.
I don't know how magical healing would affect you on a long-term basis. I feel like the fact that you're a living being is different than an inanimate object.
Probably.
I think one of the cool things in fantasy RPGs is how weird magical healing is. I think in this one, what it could be is like, I might be easier to track by a magical creature, or they might
I like that.
see me in the dark. Like it could have some weird glitch that we don't know about because we don't have magical sight or magical senses. And it's like if we fight a werewolf, it might smell me while I hide or something.
And realistically, Hayes can do magic, but I've made him in such a way that he doesn't. So he's not overtly familiar with everything. Like if he reads enough about it, he might be able to pull something off, like he did for the healing for you, but he doesn't like it. Gives him the heebie-jeebies. And
same to Birch. Birch was like in the finale we had the quick little chat, but he was so against magic. He almost would rather live with the crippling injury, but knows he needs you to heal him. And then he almost blows himself up and kind of coming back to his senses. I need to learn magic because I'm going to eventually have a huge weird score if this character levels up again. And so it's I would love to start doing magic as but a thing that he might need to be taken down from, he's going to try too much and Reggie's going to be like, that's not how we do this. And little things like that. He goes from being afraid of it to too into it.
That'd be cool. Yeah. I hope we get to stick with, I hope I don't kill your characters. And speaking of, I've come close.
We're going to
holy
kill
shit.
Out of my
We're totally going to kill each other, okay? It's going to be Birch at a cliff during the rain. It's going to be Reginald behind and be like, you've gone too far. And Hayes will be like, no.
If a monster doesn't kill you first, though, because, holy shit, you guys lost tight. A lot of health.
Yeah. Oh, I've almost died Reggie. Repeatedly.
Reggie's part armadillo. I'm fucking untouchable.
That was me in the first.
The oldest will be burying us.
I was a badass in the first arc. I couldn't be touched.
Someone always gets the least damaged, and I feel like next one, it's my turn.
I get +2 armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's armor. We don't have armor.
I'm unfuckwithable.
There are things in here that do 5 to 7 harm.
Yeah, which would kill you guys, and I get to walk away.
And back to Hell's Horses.
Yeah, sorry. I think we're good, honestly.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else, Eric?
I think we've touched a lot of good stuff and talked about some future things. I think it's.
Does anyone else have questions about anything?
I'm curious, Eric, if you want you mentioned that you haven't finished planning the big bad. If you want any more info on the cult or anything to work with for some smaller stuff before we get there, or if you're chock-a-block full.
The big bad is far out, so we got lots of time to So I mean, I definitely want to start incorporating stuff from all three of your pasts. So I mean, we're going to talk about a bit more about the cult, because I know I've asked you questions before, but I kind of want to come up with some like fun sayings that they have, because I know you did a couple in episode 1, like clear gold and stuff like that. So I kind of want some of that to like be able to just integrate into some stuff. So we'll definitely talk. I'm excited to tease more of the cult. I'm excited to tease more of your guys' background. And I mean, Liam mentioned it once, but doing like a past adventure with you guys could be a lot of fun too.
Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Where like maybe you guys both play mundanes or something, and like Liam plays the guy that was teaching you, and you guys fight. And I think that'd be
just
really
having them play as their like level 1 selves, or another class, and like just have it be the two of them. Like I'm happy to set that out, because I think we had a lot of fun, Taylor and I, exploring the characters, and then later it gives us a reason. Say if like God forbid, knock on wood, Hayes dies, we have a chance to one just like Reginald and Birch.
I've already come up with a good idea of why you guys would be alone. So like, I can't wait to do that one actually now. That's exciting.
Yeah.
If we're doing a passing, I would have to change how Hayes acts.
Yeah.
Because he's an old man now. I can't imagine. I think Reggie's the same as he was then as he is now. I don't think Reggie's
like
changed.
Reggie, 25 years old.
I mean, you could have been a more reserved young man, right?
I
think he'd be a more wild young man.
Yeah, he's not reserved
Hayes
all
is
that
tamed.
much. Yeah.
Like he's mellow, like he's uncular.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be fun. I really, really do love this game and this story we're doing. I really enjoy it.
Yeah. I'll admit to being a little hesitant when we first started this, like only talking, very few dice rolls. Ooh.
You knocked it out of the park though. Like that first episode was like all of them have been great fun. Don't get me wrong,
still think about like, look out there. You see, there's just two of us. It's not going to be a very long line.
That line gets me every time.
A united front.
Good.
I think about those two moments for us, like the drunk, concussed Birch just blabbering on, and you just like giving me so much guff. I feel like you as Taylor needed to do that to me as Liam.
I do.
And so it felt good to let you do it in a constructive way. But yeah, no, I feel like I want to end my thoughts with just thanking Eric.
Mm-hmm.
This is like been so much more fun than I could have imagined it would be.
And it's made the rest of everything we do so much more fun as well.
Yeah. Right, exactly. It's made us better. Our
role players,
has made us better players for any TTRPGs. I think as a group too, we're getting into a really good groove of like collaborative and working together. It's really increased our Kingmaker stuff immensely, in my opinion. The only problem with Hell's Horses is my voice is always hoarse by the end, because we do so much talking.
Yeah.
Like it's so much more than Pathfinder.
Fucking preach, my friend.
Yeah.
That voice takes so much out of me.
I run 4 games a week. You can do this for a couple hours.
You also talk 4 times more than we do.
Correct. You are the leading speaker in Kingmaker, and you're not the DM.
Yep. He doesn't describe stuff.
Don't change, Liam.
I have to ask.
No, you just describe it for me. You just do it.
All right. Do you guys want to know the title of the next mystery, or do you want it?
Yes, hit us with
it. Join us for our next adventure, The Incorporeal Terror of Tombstone.
It's a fucking ghost train.
Ghosts?
I love that.
Ghosts?
I can picture that pulpy Hardy Boys novel.
Guys. It's still not the Thunderbird.
Nope. Unless the Thunderbird's a ghost.
He's cold open with a Thunderbird?
The Thunderbird, that mystery is called The Angel of Bell's Bluff, and like that won't be resolved next.
I picture that it is actually an angel and it's helping, and it's secretly not a monster you have to deal with. But at that point, we're so trigger happy, or Reginald has his orders.
I will 100% take an angel out of the sky.
An angel that eats cows? Is that what?
Have you seen classical angels? They're terrifying beasts.
There are 7 classifications, and they're all scary.
All right.
Well, join us next time. Hopefully for Christmas. That's the plan.
Yeah,
we'll see if it happens.
I think so.
We'll see what happens.
I think we're doing Mouse Guard for Christmas.
We can do both.
It's more fun.
Yeah. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Maybe Easter. Who knows?